commentary for the MMS Hungarian Grand Prix, presented to you by Rijks, James and Kai.
Hello all and welcome to the Hungaroring here on the outskirts of the capital city Budapest here for round 6 of MMS Season 4. After Red Bull took their second 1-2 in a row, their dominance will be looking to be broken at one of the hardest and most technical circuits on the calendar. This 14-turn circuit has been nicknamed a street circuit without the houses and Monaco without the barriers, due to its narrow and tight layout with no room for error. And the weather for today, interestingly, is very changeable. Currently for the race start we have a downpour, but more overcast conditions are expected for later. With the basics done, let's get down to the grid.
On pole position, we have, unsurprisingly, a Mercedes. I mean, last season they showed the dominance in the rain, so this season they decided to go full out on it. So, on pole position we have Marco Cargo for the German outfit. I mean, I don't think there's much to say. He's just running for the championship. P2 is Einar Arons, his teammate. Joining him on the first row, there isn't much else to say. So, down the rest of it, we have Littogram, Simon, Smith, Murray, De Jong, Kubusek, Material, De Dong, Zage, Eastwood, Mondragon, Valjag, Wiebe, Pereira, Eugen Blanc, Clerk, Kertiken, Flynn, Agnes, Jans rounds off the grid. Now, you might notice we have only 23 cars on the grid. That's because TJ Nisbet decided to die in qualifying and set a lap time nearly 1 second behind the 108% lap time. That's outrageous. So, you know, we had to boot his ass out. We thought that was get the favourite lights.
Indeed we did, and currently we can't see the... Yes, Rakes?
The fact just set the dong still amuses me. Anyway, lights are
Anyway, yeah, lights are coming on now. 4, 5 lights, all illuminated in front of the drivers here in a wet Hungaroring, and we are underway for the Hungarian Grand Prix. And who's off the line? Well, it's a good start from the Red Bull of Smith running up into 4th. The McLaren's once again bogging down, but it's the Mercedes leading 1-2 into the first corner, completely unchanged. Carragher ahead of Aaron's taking a nice race line. The McLaren's getting onto the curve there, and the Ferrari's almost coming together off the circuit. Go both Lotuses, and one of the Venturias went wide at turn 1 as well. But everybody is through cleanly, all in one piece. As they come into turn 2 now, there's a long left-hander into now a little kink at turn 3, and it's still the Mercedes in 1-2 with the Red Bulls behind them, the McLaren's all in formation. That's a move by Littogram on Aaron's coming into turn 4, but he backs out of that one sensibly. You can't really pass into turn 4. Maybe you can. De Jong trying to overtake Simon up the inside, but the McLaren driver holds on around the outside. But yeah, everybody's made it through very cleanly, especially when you consider this is Hungary and it's in the wet, so it's a very good start from everybody. And they're now going side by side through the chicane. That was the Ferrari overtaking the Lotus of, I think that was Material, the other Lotus getting past the Venturia. And Mansell Clerk is out. Mansell Clerk is out of this race at turn 4. Let's see what happens. He's going side by side with an Aston Martin.
Does Flynn and
that's
just...
a failure.
That's a failure of some sort. That's definitely a failure.
Shuts off. That means HRT will probably pull out of Season 4.
Yeah, because the owner of HRT did say that if they have another failure, they're going to pull out.
Literally on the first lap, they're pulling out. Congratulations,
it's happened.
You did it.
Holds up Patrice Jans in the process as well. That's a lovely AI car we've killed as Carragher has lost the place to Arons, who's taken off into the distance, and he's holding up the Red Bulls behind, and that's given Smith an opportunity. No, sorry, it's given the McLaren an opportunity to sniff.
Oh, that's Smith on a wing.
Red Bull, and that's a front wing, and that's James Smith. I think losing his front wing. It is James Smith losing his front wing, and yet again, I mean,
what even happened?
Let's see. He's going side by side with the McLaren through the little Essie section, and now coming into this corner, he brakes normally.
Teammate.
Oh, he gets some. He has nowhere to go really. He's got a McLaren on his left.
So basically, damp conditions, he just slides on the curb, and there's no space for him. Slides into the curb.
Yeah, he's got nowhere to go. On the left, on the left is Murray.
He's coming in this lap.
Away, though.
He is coming in this lap, so he will not have to drive it on the lap without a front wing, which is good because it is a wet track. But look at the chaos that's ensuing in the last corner.
Look at
that's the Ferrari overtaking at the inside of the last corner. How close to the barriers was De Jong there?
Confusion. There we go.
Get a nice helicopter cam, but you can see Smith going slowly here. You'd think that would compromise the Ferrari. No, it didn't, and he sniffed an opportunity, went for it. And he hit the McLaren actually. It's almost
too big of an argy-bargy there, but
a big punt on the McLaren, but he's up into 4th place, and now 5th place, and close to the front we got Murray trying to challenge the other Red Bull, but sitting in behind, and these guys are just watching Einar Arons disappear into the distance. He's got the exit. Maybe did he use too much curbing on the outside? Is that a legal pass? We'll see, but I think he's got it done. He's up into 3rd place. Was it legal? I don't know. The stewards will have to investigate that. But to me,
to me it seemed kind of legal-ish. But that's
De
De Jong's going to try and go for another move into turn 4. Yet again, he pulls what he's pulled another opportunistic move off, and he's up into 4th place. The two drops down to 5th. And that's the other Ferrari, as you said, rakes up for Kubica going up the side of the McLaren. Now side by side into the chicane. This is the slowest point on the circuit.
And he gets it.
And he's got past both the McLaren and the Red Bull. So
Ferrari running
from Jakub. Yeah, Ferraris are on an absolute charge right now.
Obviously, Diamond De Jong did win this race last season.
That's Michael Valiant about a front wing. That's happened here. This is on the first lap still. No, the second. Is it on the first lap or the second lap? I don't know.
Okay, so we have. Oh, that's a punt. That's a punt.
Oh, he's got punted from behind. That's the Williams of Jean-Luc Blanc causing trouble again.
Oh,
and then he gets
that's the
collected
Williams
by the other
double
Williams.
takedown. So what happened to? Kai Eugen. What happened to Kai Eugen?
Japanese talent caught up in the accident.
Oh, he just rides on the rear wing of Pereira and right into Michael Valiak. That is unlucky. That is unlucky. And nearly takes on Counter Kayan.
Yep. There'll probably be a penalty coming Jean-Luc Blanc's way for opportunistic.
Also, we have a confirmation. It's a 5-second time penalty for Tamer De Jong for dangerous driving.
Oh, that's a big implication for him.
Kubica now making a move on his teammate.
Speaking of De Jong, he's just been overtaken by Kubica.
And Blanc has received a 10-second penalty for that.
Distributing plenty of penalties at a very fast rate, which is what you like to see. You don't like to see much uncertainty. But look at the Toro Rosso.
Saying the move onto Littlegrim. Oh my god! Oh, and
that's sliding wide. That was one of the Lotuses. It's Stefan De Jong sliding wide, and I think he got a punt from behind from Olivier Zage's Toro Rosso coming through the last corner. Let's have a look.
Yep.
And yes, indeed, he does get a punt. And if De Jong receives a penalty, I'm pretty sure that that's going to be a penalty coming Toro Rosso's way as well.
Yep.
Very over-opportunistic moves. Here comes the other McLaren of Kaiser. We've got the Toro Rosso of Hannah Eastwood in this as well, up alongside the McLaren. But down the inside goes Kangsai Min's McLaren, and he picks up 2 places in one corner. And wide goes the Ferrari. The Ferrari does run wide and is overtaken by the Red Bull, and now the Toro Rosso behind looking feisty. And indeed going up the inside but now around the outside goes Olivier Zage, an absolutely brilliant move from both Toro Rossos. De Jong down to 9th. He's just been flanked on either side by STR.
Look at this.
He's down to 9th, and yeah, Aaron's has been caught by Carrigal and Murray, who already have a decent gap behind them. Now coming into the chicane.
Olivier Sage, a 5-second time penalty.
Another 5-second penalty. That was much more severe than the one before, but the Lotus was not punted into the barriers, almost, but not quite.
The engine was close to shutting up, though. It was a massive punt.
Coming through the SS section into Sector 3. Let's see.
You can't really overtake too much in this section unless you're De Jong and you punt someone out of the way.
Well, this last corner, people have been looking opportunistic
speaking
all
of
day.
Murray,
Murray at the inside of the penultimate corner. Very similar to this next one. He has the outside line for this next corner, which is not the preferable line, and he does indeed back out of that one. Not a sensible idea to go around the outside, especially with all the marbles that might be there. Rain has stopped, yeah. As we're now coming onto the straight to start lap 4. And the Mercedes are going to go side by side into turn 1. Carrigal at the inside of his teammate trying to take the lead back, and he does take the lead back for the first time since the opening lap. And this is the corner where Einar Arons, of course, ruined his race last season by punting him and James Smith out of the race. And there, side by side through turn 2 for both Mercedes into turn 3 now. Still side by side. It's just brilliant racing for the 2 Mercedes teammates who are racing for the win here. And Carrigal is still trying to go around the outside into turn 4. Now the inside line for turn 5. They're still completely inseparable. They're still through turn 5, all up into turn 6 now. And Arons has finally got himself up ahead of his teammate. That was brilliant racing from both Mercedes drivers. Gave each other so much respect through those corners. They didn't make a single bit of contact either. Absolutely brilliant. And they also didn't allow Joseph Murray a chance to get through.
Obviously, if they were side by side, so Murray really had nowhere else to go to just sit behind and have front row tickets for the battle ahead.
Or for a potential collision, I'm sure he was thinking, but no, they managed to keep it all nice and smooth. And then at turn 6, Carrigal finally backed out of the move sensibly because it is a very slow corner. Now through the last corner,
Murray though tried to move and only went wide.
And he's lost a lot of time there. He's just completely compromised his line. He's got his gear shifts almost messed up. He's lost a lot of time there. No substitute for him down the straight. Here we go again. Indeed, Arons is a bit more defensive this time around. And he's going to hold that position as they turn into the corner. And Aaron's still leading this race as
wide
Carrigal runs wide. Too much curb on the inside, he runs wide. Now what about turn 2? Are we going to see a dive bomb from
Yep.
Carrigal?
Oh, no.
Yes, we are. He makes a bit of contact with his teammate, punting him a little bit wide. And I think this time Carrigal
That's
has
done.
done it. He has. Marco Carrigal leads this race for the first time since the opening corner.
Meanwhile, at the
And
back.
well, Smith is already up into 17th place despite losing his front wing. He's about to take Henrik Weber's
Oh, that's
force injury. Then
into Weber though.
Josh Flint running quite well in the top 10, in the top 15 again, as he was last weekend in
Oh,
Silverstone.
it's just Smith down the inside.
It won't be for much longer if
Competition,
Smith continues to pull moves like that effortlessly. As there's the Williams of Jean-Luc Blanc side by side with Jack Agnes's HRT, and they're doing what the two Mercedes guys did.
Agnes was radioed by the team owner of HRT to just pull into the pits and retire. Oh, that's a spinning Flynn there. What happened? Oh, and that's
Oh, Smith.
I think Flynn and Smith have gone side by side through turn 4. Let's see what's happened here. And indeed, yeah. Smith has... How has he not lost his front wing there?
This is very reminiscent of what happened to Michael Waliak and Louis Zage back in Season 1 of OG MMS.
I don't know what to make of that, but somehow Smith gets the position.
Oh,
Flynn,
oh,
wait, no, he
oh,
hasn't. He's
dangerous
rejoined the
rejoin.
second very dangerously and almost collects the Force India of Henrik Weber and the Williams of Jean-Luc Blanc. And
somehow
he now...
nobody loses wings there.
I don't know if that was... I don't know if he could have rejoined in a better state. He was coming back
Still
from a
making
very...
contact there with Weber.
He's still trying to get straight back past.
What is he doing?
Oh, he's gone wide again, and he's been hit up the back by Patrice Jans there. Somehow still doesn't have any visible damage.
FIA is investigating Smith
He is
for potential
all out of
penalty.
shape though, as he tries to negotiate these back markers, and now closer to the front we can see a battle for fourth place
Carrigal's
between...
lost position as well.
Yep,
Carrigal's
Carrigal
back down to
Murray.
third. Murray's taking the lead. Another lead, sorry,
Carrigal's
second
moving on a
place.
bit.
Aarons is back up into the lead, and Carrigal has dropped down to third place. The Portuguese driver now not only behind his teammate, but behind the McLaren for the first time today. As we're looking at Hannah Reeswood in sixth place for Toro Rosso.
Okay,
She
so
has climbed...
we have a confirmation, very quick, so 15 seconds worth of penalties for James Smith for his absolutely dangerous driving there.
That's a lot of penalty. That's probably the biggest penalty of the season so far.
No, I mean, Formula 1, yes. MMS, no. We had 20 seconds from Jan Voda yesterday.
Yeah, I mean,
the rookie.
Formula 1, yeah. But back to Hannah Eastwood, I think where she started 12th, 11th, I think. So she's halved the grid position up to 6th. She's under pressure from the Ferrari team at Young, who does have a 5-second time penalty to be added at the end of the race.
Oh, and that's Murray and Aaron's
oh,
with a bit
dear.
of contact.
Punting Aaron's a bit wide. I'm amazed Aaron's was not pitched into a spin there by the McLaren of Murray, who seems to be so aggressive in the early stages of this race, and yet the rain has completely fallen away now. It doesn't look like we'll be having too much more rain anytime soon.
On
As
paper,
Murray
the
is
McLaren's the
all over
quickest
the
car.
gearbox coming through the last corner, but Carrigal has the best run of all of them in a double
he might go
slipstream
for
here.
move.
Murray's pulling to the inside. Is Carrigal going to make it 3 wide? No, he's going to try and go around the outside of Murray.
Carrigal.
Look at the McLaren at the inside, riding the curb, making contact.
Aaron's
And
coming
not
back,
quite
maybe.
able to get past because he's compromised on the exit. Now here comes Lena Rounds, his Mercedes up the inside of turn 2, which will become the outside for turn 3. They make contact. Murray might well
Murray's-
just have pulled that one off. He
Oh.
has done. He's through at turn 2, and at turn 3 he makes his move stick. And Joseph Murray takes the lead of the Hungarian Grand Prix on lap 7 of 31 for the first time today.
What do you say,
Aaron's
guys?
is
Maybe we can
struggling.
have 5 different race winners in 5 races.
Oh, so yeah, Murray
Indeed.
hasn't won yet, and neither has McLaren as a team.
We've had 4 different race winners, but only 2 different race-winning teams, because of course both
There you
Rebel
go,
Aaron's
Aaron's
on
making
a move on
and
Aaron's.
Carrigal's gone through on the exit of turn 7 into turn 8. That's very opportunistic, but it does give a hint that Aaron's is really struggling to put the foot down in the slow corners.
Or
for
again, it
whatever
might be
reason.
different modes, because Carrigal
Oh, boy.
dropped back before. Oh,
That's
no.
Agnes going past Carter Caton through turn 3.
Did I see a front wing, or was that
Yes,
just
it is, and that's
Aaron?
Smith
You
again.
did, it's a Toro Rosso, it's Smith again. No, I thought it was a Toro Rosso wing, but no. It's the Red Bull of Smith again, and what on earth is going on with this man?
He stays going from bad to worse. Oh,
The
it's
championship
into turn 4
contender has
again.
made another mistake at turn 4 for the
He's close to
second
being
lap running.
disqualified. He's close to being disqualified at this stage.
He actually is. He is driving so recklessly today in that Red Bull. He might well still
Something-
get points, who knows?
Something tells me that
Hungarian
Red Bull is
fever.
not going to get a 1-2 today.
No, it's not going to be a Red Bull 1-2 today unless some ridiculous
Wow.
mania happens.
Yeah,
up
long
front.
race to move and count again. Jans, it's her debut back into Formula 1 after having quite a woeful season in Lotus. She's back into Lotus, just rebranded as Super Aguri. And you know, she's not doing the worst, to be honest.
I mean, I remember Jans most for that. That
Magny
move on the
Core.
Ferrari and that flip at Magny Core. Oof.
Yeah. That's the only thing people remember about her. I mean, fair
Exactly.
Can I point out that FIA investigating this call for Smith?
Here goes another move through the last corner. That was a bit cleaner, but still not as clean as it could have been.
enough. And it's speaking
But
of clean,
through.
it's clean skies.
Clear skies are forming. Yeah, it's gone completely blue from thunderously dark clouds to completely blue skies now. So it seems there won't be any more rain for the rest of the race. I don't know if there's still standing water on the
Aragon's
circuit.
taking the leads.
Cargo has taken the lead.
Most of the water has been dried up.
And
What's
the
more
top
interesting is that Kangsai Min in the other McLaren has now caught up to the back of guys. Where's Red Bull's pace? Littlecrum is nowhere to be seen.
I mean, literally.
Red Bull did not overtake. No, yeah, Red Bull didn't upgrade for this window. Mercedes and
Here
McLaren
we
did.
go. That's Aarons and Carragher probably overtaking Murray. Oh no, that's Carragher. That's Murray spinning.
Murray spun
What
down. He's
happened?
down to 4th place there, and Sideman's gone wide as well. So
Was
both
he
McLarens
punted
heavily
by
compromised the
Aarons
move
or
there.
did he just lose it?
Let's have a look. It depends. He's going to go on the outside line.
Oh, so Carragher
Oh,
spins
dear.
on the curbing. That's a racing incident, really.
Doesn't really help that Murray's turning into the corner as if no
Yeah.
one's there, though.
Yeah.
I'm
So
on-
that,
that's
Doesn't
very
leave much
lucky.
room.
That's very lucky that nobody hit that inside tyre barrier at pit wall.
Yeah.
And then Simon, I think, just is caught out by his teammate here and then just runs wide.
yeah, that's no penalty. That's just a racing incident by the FIA.
So the
Also-
McLarens are now going side by side down the front
I think
straight.
so, the
What about
Mercedes.
The Mercedes are also going side by side, and Aaron Aarons is up the inside of his team, and he's retaken the lead through
And
turn
Murray
1
has
as Murray
overtaken
holds the
Simon.
place on Simon. But now what about turn 2? Is Carragher going to absolutely send one? No, he's not. He's going to just sit
No,
in
he's not.
behind
Also,
here and wait.
basically, if Smith gets one more incident, he's either going to be disqualified or have his penalty upgraded to 25 seconds.
Ouch.
Look at Murray.
And
No.
knowing Hungary, it's not, and he's knowing the fact that we're at Hungary. That's not the biggest impossibility that you would expect.
Yep.
But let's take a break from the action and talk about pit stops. When are we expecting pit stops in this race? Do
I
you
have
think?
no clue. But to be fair, it's probably going to be up 20 plus, really.
Because remember, we were in changeable conditions, so that does affect tyre wear. A wetter track, of course, not only reduces grip, it of course affects the tyre wear. As now, here we're looking on board with Joseph Murray. Nice
Right,
little
do-
visor cam here as he comes into the last sector.
The two McLarens obviously still trying to get their first win of
There
the
we go,
season.
Murray dives it down the inside.
McLaren have had a pretty dismal season so far, considering they are the reigning constructors champions. They've hardly been on the podiums at all.
You said what's Littlecrum? There is.
Yup, Littlecrum
The
has
Supergrams caught back up to these guys. It's just as I was slating Red Bull for being too slow. He's on the back of the McLaren of Kangsai Min right now. He's
Mercedes
pulling
engine
out to
against the Red Bull
inside.
engine. And doesn't... Actually, he does.
Up the inside he goes into the turn 1 on the curb, and he
And
gets
makes it
4th place. Marcus Littlecrum puts his Red Bull into the top 4 for the first
No.
time in a long time.
And now it's the two championship rivals, 3rd and 4th. Meanwhile, Aarons and Murray are just battling it away.
Yeah, Littlecrum, of course, your championship leader at this point. Marco Carragher is 3rd in the championship, I believe. He's had a bit of a drop in form since his win in Bahrain. And his that
we
was
have
a
a
force injury in
force injury
pit
in the
lane.
pit.
It was Francesco Pereira, and he's lost his front wing. And what's happened here? Oh, it's at turn 12, and he's rammed to the back of Matches Material. He was in a good position if he was battling with Material. He was in the top
Yeah.
12. It's a shame for him.
Once again, Pereira just unlucky.
Yeah. As we're looking on board with the Lotus of Stefan de Dong
Oh, that's a clean
being
move from
overtaken
Zage. Obviously,
by
Zage
Olivia
has a
Zage
penalty,
Star
but-
also. Sage does have a penalty. He was dropped down a little bit, but still in the top 10.
Oh, no.
That's all!
Oh.
Jakub Kubicek has lost his
I
front
knew
wing.
I spotted the front wing back there.
Oh,
On the
this
corner?
has been on the last lap. He must have lost it on his teammate somewhere. It's
Oh,
here,
yeah,
yeah.
that's just
It's
a
turn
silly
13. He goes
Oh,
for the
man.
inside and just hits the back of
Oh,
him. That's
no.
a big shame for Jakub Kubicek. Ferrari running so cleanly, just on
Yeah.
the outskirts of the top 5.
That's a shame.
And he now is trying to link back to the pit lane and is going to become a moving chicane to anybody who comes into his path.
The
First
FIA
one's to meet him up
very
the
rigorous today.
Indeed.
I mean, I don't
I
mind
wouldn't
it.
think there'd be any penalties though. He hasn't compromised anybody but himself.
Oh, that's so.
So,
Anyway, where are we? Lap 10. About to be lap 11 for the leaders.
Yep.
Well, the leaders are about to cross onto lap 11 off 31, one-third distance in
having
this
to
race.
overtake the Kabusek, the moving chicane. It's a shame for Kabusek because his season so far has been one of the best in his whole career, really.
Oh no, he was gonna make trouble.
It's been consistent. It's been consistent. Oh dear, that's the Lotus.
That's the Young
Almost
compromising the run of Kabusek into the pits.
Exactly.
Luckily,
The Lotus was pretty much on pit road and then cut
Finn
back
is in
across the circuit.
14th.
We'll have to. That'll be 13th once Kubasek is
Yeah.
done. That might have
It
to
might
be.
be 12.
That might have to be investigated by the stewards because
There's
he's
Flynn.
going up the inside and he goes up into 13th place
Nice
with a
move.
very opportunistic pass on Andrew Mondragon's Venturia, and that now becomes 12th place as they overtake Jakub Kubasek's stricken Ferrari.
Mondragon's coming back.
In pit road. Yeah, here comes the Venturia coming into turn 1. He dives down the inside. Flynn holding on a little bit around the outside though.
Also, we have
runs
2 penalty
wide.
points for Kabusek for holding up his teammate after the loss of the front wing.
Still
I mean,
holding,
it's
still
not like you can
holding on
overtake.
here is the Aston Martin, and back down the inside at turn 2, and he holds 12th place.
Not really. Look at Mondragon. He's
Not
having
really.
none of it.
The Mondragon goes right back down the inside at turn 3. That's an extremely opportunistic move, and he's actually traction
Pull it off.
off the corner to beat him into turn 4 and retake that 12th place. Fantastic scrap between these two. That's not even a points position. It's 2 places off points.
We also have a
look
top
at
5
this.
battle.
Oh, this is a huge train at the front, being led by race leader Anna Aarons. We got then it's
Aarons.
Mercedes, McLaren, Red Bull here at the front.
And Murray
Top
sends it for
three
the
teams.
lead.
Or he's going for the lead again. So we're seeing a lot more overtakes than you might expect in at the Hungaroring. Budapest normally doesn't have many overtake full races.
You say that last season was pretty good as well.
Last season was a wet race though, so it was quite
Well, this race
Oh,
also
no.
was wet for like a few laps. So
for a few laps, yeah. Anyway, up the hill now towards turn 4. Hungary has a lot more elevation than people think it is. It's set in a valley. And
Turn
you'll
4, yeah. Up to
here we were
turn
always
4.
climbing, but once you get past this chicane, it's just
yeah, speaking of this
constantly.
chicane, there's Simon making a move on Carrigal.
Nice
And they were
camera.
side by side through the chicane still, and now into the S. Well, I'd like to call it the S section. It's a very slow one. Simon has the inside line and goes through, and now Littlegram is all over the back of the Mercedes as they come through the flat left-hander into a fast right-hand. And he's
Aarons is not quite done with Murray, but
pulled
Simon
clear
is-
of Carrigal, so there won't be any attack from behind. Is there going to be an attack in front? Almost, I thought he was going to
Oh,
pull out a
really?
slipstream there to get past, but no, he sits in nicely just
Yeah,
behind.
now he doesn't sit nice.
Oh, there we go
There's
into
the
turn
move.
13, and Aaron shuts the door on him as Littlegram goes
Littlegram.
past Aaron's teammate. The Mercedes under all sorts of attack, but no, here's an attack from one of them, and he's got past. He's compromised though, and now has to do a little bit of a switchback maneuver to try and get some more traction out of the corner. And the McLaren of Murray has 2 cars right on his gearbox.
Look
One
at
of them
that
being his
run.
teammate, who's
Simon.
going for it into the first corner. Simon gets past, and Littlegram runs wide, and he's run wide, and he's still managed to pull up alongside the the defending champion, and he's through. And Murray's down to 4th.
As it stands, Littlegram is actually going to extend his championship lead ahead of Carrigal, but Mercedes is looking decent to get some points back on Red Bull. Here comes Simon.
Aaron's might well leapfrog Carrigal in the championship at this rate.
Simon finally got his pace together, so I'm really happy to see him finally, not crashing and actually giving us some entertainment here. And
I mean,
scoring
apart
points
from
himself.
Smith and Kubasek, it's been completely accident-free in the
Yeah.
top 15.
We're not even into the second half of the race.
And
though,
Pereira.
so don't
Well,
think
yeah,
about
I know. Voice crack number 1. I will stand by my promise that if someone does keep a notebook with all of the voice cracks I make this season,
I think Tudus is keeping count of that.
I really appreciate that.
Littlegram is supposed to make a move on to Simon.
The Supergram is all over the back of the
Maybe
McLaren.
for
Yeah.
the lead even soon.
Aaron's
because
just not
Yeah,
with
speaking of
He's
Littlegram,
going
there
for
he
it into
goes.
the last corner, and he barges his way through up into second place. To the
Simon is
time,
coming
yeah,
back.
he's through.
No, he's not. Yeah, there you
Aaron
go.
seems to be going really slowly though at the front ever since he took the lead.
Littlegram
Here comes the Red
goes for the
Bull.
lead.
The Supergram was 5th a couple of laps ago. He's now into the race lead. The Red Bull, the championship leader, takes the lead of the race for the first time today in Hungary. And while his
And there's
teammate
Murray
is
now,
driving
McLaren.
the worst,
Teammate.
oh, that's Murray going through it. And that while his teammate is driving the worst race of his career, Littlegram has made his way from 5th to 1st. Can he hold on to it?
Carrigal is looking to get a move on Simon probably.
My
You know
best
what?
estimate is the answer is no.
Easy
Anyway.
moves, a non-stop battle, but down the order. Is anything special happening? Agnes has dropped down to 16th. As Omar...
Agnes has still been on.
Let's hope Williams a bit. Smith is called back up to these guys, finally. He's going for the to the last corner. Oh, and that's contact, and Cartakane's gone wide as well. And whose fault was that? We'll have to see it. We might see a replay of that to see whose fault that was. That might well be the final straw for this Red Bull. Let's have a look. This is on board with Jean-Luc Blanc. Coming into the last corner. Smith goes for the inside.
The curb just yeets him into him.
That looks like that might well be the final nail in the coffin for the Red Bull drivers' race.
He's really not having a good day today.
He is not having a good day. He's still going for an overtake on Patrice Janzer. He's wasting no time whatsoever in getting past these back markers, but that's not necessarily a good thing because he's throwing caution to the wind, really.
Look at this Pereira.
Pereira has also lost his front wing in this race and has caught back up to these guys and trying to take Carter-Kane's Aston Martin. But Carter-Kane goes to the outside at turn 2 and now has the inside for turn 3. That's Alonso on Sainz-esque and he goes past into 19th place.
Also, you have a confirmation. James Smith has been given the black flag.
He's black flagged. Oh my goodness. How are we going to make him? How are we going to make him pit though? He's going to compromise people's races.
Basically, because I cannot boot him out during the race, we'll just have to wait until the race is over, and then I have to boot him out. It's not the best, but there is no other way I can actually disqualify him.
Yeah. Anyway, Aaron's just taking the lead again.
Yeah. So basically,
Aaron's every time he loses the lead, he's back into it a lap later, but he just can't pull away.
Carragher is losing pace a little.
Yeah, Carragher dropped off a lot of time. Maybe
he's dropping off.
It's a strategic gimmick here, guys. Because if Carragher drops off now and saves some fuel, he's able to push later.
Well, he saved his tyres as well. I mean, tyre wear we've seen as much as a problem as fuel has this season, but still.
I mean, we have struck a good deal with Pirelli on the tyres.
Honestly, I think Firestone would be a much better sponsor considering their tyres last about 2 laps. Anyway.
Well, Borussia the half
compound. There's the
on the inside. He makes contact. It seems that every move Red Bull makes today has been so aggressive, and he's gone around the outside. He's through back up into the race lead. He almost got punted out by Aarons, who himself was almost punted by Murray.
And the McLaren
himself
coming now.
Was nearly punted by Simon.
So we're looking at turn 1. Is Aaron's going to be under pressure? No. Yes, he is. He's going to spin, but he holds it. He got very lucky that he spun into the direction of Murray there so that he was righted almost instantly, but he's down to 4. And Murray, if he doesn't give that place up, might well be penalised for that because that looked all his fault.
If you look at the FIA.
Yeah, if you look at the FIA.
The FIA has been handing out penalties left, right and centre.
Hey.
So
yeah, it's confirmed 5 seconds for Murray.
5-second time penalty for Joseph Murray's McLaren. That is a huge.
Murray, despite the penalty, is going for the lead.
That's a huge lump for him. That will drop him down to 5th place as it stands. I mean, they have a very good gap to 6th if you look on the mini-map.
Yeah, like they're only going to lose.
But if he loses his front wing, that might well come back to bite him a lot. Let's see. We've got Red Bull versus McLaren, just like last season. It's not for the championship this time yet. It's just for the race. Hungary, and that's Aaron's up the inside, back up into 3rd place, and he's giving his teammate.
He's
giving his teammate the corridor to overtake.
It's raining.
Around the outside,
it's raining.
turn 13.
It's raining.
Absolutely brilliant.
Rain is back, guys.
And it is raining, yes.
And this might be when Mercedes come back to life.
It could well be. We'll see. Weber is in 10th place. He's battling for 9th. Indeed, he was 4th in Hockenheim before in his home race before his engine let go.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of another.
That's Pereira on the inside of Carter-Kane at turn 3, making a lot of contact and not getting past.
Blanc and Agnes. Agnes is still in this race. He's not listening to his team boss telling him to retire. Oh, and there's the Mercedes guys again.
That's the Mercedes. Oh! That was bodywork. I'm sure that was some bodywork they threw off one of the cars.
No, that's just sparks.
It looked like Mercedes front wing, but both of them seem to have the front wing
still intact. I thought it was a rear wing because it must have just been sparks. Yeah, because it was yellow, so I thought it was a rear wing.
Yeah, I could have sworn there was a Mercedes front wing, but apparently not. Oh.
What?
Okay. You
can't see it, but yeah.
No, you can't see it. It must have just been sparks. How bad then? I just got paranoid because the Mercedes
is mildly visible now. If you look
So
closely...
so the rain has already been quite significant. I mean, we've seen the Mercedes go toe to toe so often this season, but it's never ended in disaster between
You
these
say
two.
that they had it was like because in Germany they had a bit
No,
of a
that
moment.
was just Carragher taking himself out with another driver, I think.
Oh,
I honestly
Oh
can't
yeah, that's
remember.
heavy rain now.
We'll have to revisit it. Yeah, it is absolutely pouring it down now.
You can actually
We'll
see
have
the
to-
spray from the cars. It's
At
raining
least in
heavily.
Sector 3, it's absolutely chucking it down. And how much will this affect the race? Maybe it won't do a thing. Who knows?
Well,
I mean,
it's
Simon
hard to
is
guess,
good.
you know. Simon is actually gaining a lot of time in the rain, so maybe we have a new rain master. As now Murray has passed Littlegram for the lead, but Littlegram is having none of it.
Littlegram's coming right back at him at turn 1. While his teammate's on the attacks, Murray is on the defence right now. Not good enough. Littlegram goes through up into the race lead, runs a little bit wide.
Simon
That's
very
contact between
aggressively.
Simon and Carragher. Carragher tried to do a switchback, but Simon put his car exactly where he needed to put it to stop the switchback Carragher wanted, and he takes 4th place again. Olivia Zaich in 6th place, by the way.
Yeah, Olivier said
He's
there
cool.
also seem to always be like in this top 6 vibes, you know.
They normally drop off in the second half of the races, but we'll see.
Yeah, I mean we're
Yeah.
edging closer and closer to the second half of the race. Actually, we're past it.
We are in the second half of the race. It's lap 18 of 31. We have 13 laps to go after this one.
and we still
What has
have good
been-
stuff to come.
I have to say, quite an entertaining Hungarian Grand Prix, especially
It's been
at the front.
decent,
We've only really been looking at the front as well. I haven't seen too much action
I mean,
in the
there's
midfield.
been a nice five-way battle for the lead constantly, pretty much.
Yeah,
So,
Indeed.
why not? And most
Coming
of
into
the
Sector 3, turn 12. None of these call names, so we just have to keep calling turn this, turn that.
I mean, I prefer that. It's easier to remember.
No, it's really not.
I mean, I prefer calling like Bahrain Turn 10 or something like that, or Turkey Turn 8 instead of a name. That's why I have.
Well, I mean,
issues-
if I say Stowe, you know which corner I'm talking.
Right.
Okay, if I say Brooklands, you know which corner I'm talking about. If I say
Right.
turn 6, depends who you ask.
I don't know. I don't know what's Brooklands though.
Okay, well, most people
There
in
you
will
go.
still wonder where Brooklands is. That's a
Oh,
move
there's
from
Murray on the
Joseph
move from
Murray on the
Littlegram.
inside of Littlegram. And he's slightly ahead as the car is through. He's got past, he's a car length
And now
ahead.
his
And
teammate
Joseph
makes a
Murray
move.
takes the outright lead. It's his teammate going past the Mercedes. The Mercedes sticks it around the outside. Look at the spray that they're kicking up offline there.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Still-
we're approaching
They're
back
going side by
market.
side into turn 4. This is a recipe for disaster here. A wet turn 4. They're going side by side. They're both on
And
the
make
circuit.
it work.
Aaron's just holding out.
They're
Aaron's
still
just held
side by
on there.
side. They're still side by side.
They're coming side by side to the chicane now. The Carragher's waiting. He's got popcorn in his hand, waiting for an accident to happen.
And
They are
They're
still.
still-
Oh no!
No, he's at
Simon
the back
goes
of
in the back of
Littlegram.
Littlegram.
Littlegram somehow stays on the circuit. Complete madness there from Kang Simon. How has no one gone off the circuit there? Not only was he side by side, he goes from being side by side with a Mercedes.
The rain has stopped.
Punting. Oh, the rain stopped.
Oh, and
That's a shame.
there's a half spin from Carragher there.
And Aaron's is going to go through at turn
Guys,
13. No, he's
come
not.
on.
Carragher goes around the outside turn 13 again.
what a launch you got!
Simon nearly punts into the back of Littlegram. Jesus, watch out, man.
Seems we do have some hot weather though, because last time when it rained, when it stopped raining, the spray went away pretty quickly. I mean, here it's still here to stay. Littlegram's going to the inside
room.
of Murray. We're seeing another move for the lead at turn 1, and another successful one at that. And he takes the lead from the Brit.
Simon went
I
a bit
have-
wide.
I have
no-
to note though. Look
And
at the
pit
minimap.
windows.
Yeah, we're approaching
Oh,
back
dear.
markers.
We are catching back markers.
As whoa!
Oh, that's a
Whoa, whoa,
hugely
whoa.
aggressive move from Taylor Young. Was running on himself a penalty this race. That might well be another warning for him as he barged Olivier Zaich around the corner.
He's still
Now he's going
barging.
around the outside of turn 2, turns to the inside for turn 3. Can
I
he
mean, this
pull
is
it
great
off?
racing.
Yes, he can. And he's through.
That was good.
I
Well,
actually
don't
need
know.
another drink of water because my throat is dying, so I'll be back.
Yeah,
in a
so
second.
I actually forgot to get water
20.
myself, but I'm not gonna. Anyway, Littlegram is leading. The McLarens are now holding up Aaron's, and what's happened to Carragher?
Carragher
No, he's
again. I think he's still going in that fuel saving mode.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't really matter for him right now. Like, he's still close, and the top guys are gonna battle plus the back markers. My stream was paused.
Okay, so
Oh.
information because Dad is basically asking me how many penalty points is disqualification in the race. The disqualification is judged by the FIA, not rather the penalty points. So, yeah, a disqualification though is basically 20 penalty points or 25 depending on the severity of the disqualification. So yeah, that's a quick info. I cannot retype, so I had to say it out loud. Meanwhile, Salmon is trying to make a move on his teammate Murray, but no, Murray on the outside of Littergram, and he actually makes it work. So Murray into the lead, and now Simon makes a move onto Littergram.
I've just come back to see.
McLaren 1-2.
I've just come back to see the two most opportunistic moves I think I've ever seen in my life.
So we have a confirmation: 25 penalty points for James Smith.
Oh my goodness, that's going to be... Oh! Speaking of Red Bulls, that's Marcus Lisserdrum off at turn 4. He's come together with Maynard Aarons' Mercedes. He's dropped down to 5th now. What on earth happened there?
Aarons
I think it's going to be what Smith did with...
Yup. Oh my
days.
dear.
That's going to be a penalty.
That's a huge amount of contact between the Red Bull and the Mercedes.
That's not contact, that's a full yeet.
Let's have a look on board with... Let's have a look on board, see what that looked like.
Oh my god.
My word.
He got sent flying.
He must have suspension damage from that. He doesn't hit the wall, which is remarkable in itself. Let's have a look here. Aarons goes from the
Aarons
inside,
doesn't even turn to the corner. Like, he turns right after contact.
Bloody hell.
Big amount of contact there for Marcus Litsegrim, who was on a good... He was slipping back down the order, but now he's really slid back down the order, quite literally.
So that is
down.
So it's 10 seconds for Aarons for that.
That's a 10-second time penalty. That will drop way down. In fact, that might even drop him down to 6th.
Yeah,
depends on the gap have.
Yeah, if he gets unlucky in pit stops, that might actually drop him there. As we're approaching laps traffic faster and faster.
We are indeed. And now would be a perfect time to pivot. In fact, that's Josh Flynn right there.
Flynn has dropped down a lot of places.
He's battling. Either he's lost his front wing in this race, or he's dropped down a lot. Probably the latter, because it makes more sense.
Keep in mind, Murray also has penalties, so we have 2 leaders now with penalties.
So Kang Simon right now is the effective.
Oh, there is Aarons.
He's the net race leader in terms of actual time, and Aarons does get past.
So Carragher is at the moment net second, if I'm correct.
I'm not. Yes, he probably would be. Yes,
he is.
And
yeah, he is.
I'm sure that Simon has been radioed saying not to fight these guys too much, to stick with them because they both have penalties.
Yeah, the leaders have penalties. The 2 leaders have penalties.
And now they've got the back markers, and they're not pitting this lap, so now it's going to get very spicy.
This is reminding me of Formula E when a lot of penalties were handed out after the race, and the
that was in Algeria, Saudi Arabia.
As the rain is back.
Has Aarons learned his lesson?
The rain
yes,
is
he
back.
has. He's not made any contact this time around.
And Carragher's going for a net race lead.
Carragher is indeed going for it, as they've just caught up to... That's Flynn and Jan's going for it. Oh, Simon has slid off at the chicane, and it's contact with Marcus.
Was that contact with Carragher, or was it...
Is this going to be another penalty? Oh, dear.
To be fair, Simon does turn into Carragher, though.
Simon is turning into him.
Carragher was alongside him already. So.
I mean, it's not like he's gone for a gap that's not there. The gap is there.
Yeah, he was alongside.
Making it not visible.
Simon's making it disappear. That might well not be a penalty. We'll have to wait and see
it's
the
a racing
FIA's
incident.
on
The FIA are...
Because, like, with Aarons, he wasn't alongside, so that was a penalty, but Carragher was alongside Simon.
So. But Aarons just didn't turn, full stop.
Yeah, he just didn't turn, so that was a just
as
a penalty.
Now officially caught up to the back of the Aston Martin of Josh Flynn and the Super Aguri, always getting them mixed up, of Patrice Jans.
So now...
Murray's going past Flynn here. I thought
Flynn.
He's already gone past, yeah. So
Flynn
Murray's up into... Well, he's not up anywhere.
Carragher now side by side.
That's the 2 Mercedes side by side through the last corner. And Flynn's in the way here. Are we going to see a Hacken and Schumacher here? Flynn's in the middle of the circuit right now. Let's have a look. And it looks like Carragher has the advantage because Aarons is boxed in. And Carragher indeed does take second place.
Carragher does punt Flynn away, so Aarons can go through. So
even though Aarons has a penalty, Carragher still overtakes his teammate and takes what is on track second place, but what would become the race lead once penalties are applied, provided nothing bad happens to Zage. That is not a time pit stop. That might well come back to be good for her, though. Remember, this is near the pit.
She did it after half of the race, so in theory, this can be beneficial for her. What did she do? Rewind time.
Well, she's made able to stay ahead of the Ferrari for a long time after losing. It's turn 1. So she's coming. Oh dear, she's coming back from the inside to the outside, then back to the inside, but a bit too late. And into the back of the Ferrari goes the STR. It's not the end of the world though. She'll just come into the pit road and get that fixed.
Smith has caught up to Mondragon.
Smith is in
Isn't
30th
Smith
place.
disqualified?
He is disqualified. Well, his race result won't count. He can race on as much
as
as
race.
he can
Yeah,
race on
yeah, I
as much
know,
as he
yeah.
wants. We just have to hope he doesn't compromise anybody. He's
There
through up
goes
into
up
12th
into
place
12.
now, with quite a substantial gap up ahead. We'll see how that turns out.
Actually, never mind. I was gonna say that Littlegrim maybe has actual damage, but he's caught back up.
Is it raining? Yes, it's raining.
We're back to raining conditions yet again. Oh no. This is gonna get very interesting.
Zage now came out of the pits, lost a lot of time because of this, and now Smith, right on the... Well, not right, but very close to the back of the...
Zage has completed the pit stop though,
This is
just
the-
remember that. Zage
Yep.
has pitted everybody ahead
Smith-
of her, has...
Probably also has to bid again, plus, you know...
As I have been DM'd by the team boss of Super Aguri, probably regarding the Nisbet DNQ. Oh boy.
Oh boy, here we go
no.
again. Anyway,
we're...
looking on board with the Red Bull of Smith, is he going to go for a move into the chicane? Knowing him this
As
race,
it's
yes he
starting
would
to
have
rain
done.
heavily.
The spray, we
Heavy
can see
rain
the
is
spray
falling.
already. The spray didn't really go away during the dry couple of laps. Really stayed where it was, so we're just picking off where we left off pretty much.
Yep.
Yep. This weather is chaotic, but I mean, at least it's giving us a bit of entertainment here.
It's
Yeah,
been
we
a
got-
really solid race as it stands
Jakob
right now.
Kubicek lost his front wing, remember, and as this race goes on for longer, he might well not have to pit again, you know?
Yeah, I mean,
Yep.
he's currently up into P9.
He's up to ninth. He might
Oh, there
well
we go.
not have to
Oh,
pit again.
low fuel.
Oh my days.
Which would put him into sixth. So this is going to be closer to Kubicek, as these guys have there are so many cars on the screen right now,
There's Agnes, still not retiring.
despite his team owner's words.
Leading. I mean, HRT said they will pull out if the things will turn out as they did, and it's sad, but at the same time I completely understand them. They're in a bad financial situation. Their car is a boat.
Not the
with
best,
wheels
yeah.
and a
I mean, they had
plank
such a
for front
remarkable season last time out. They had a fifth
Yeah.
place Magny, sixth place finish in another race. It was
wing.
really the
Pretty
stuff of
much the
dreams.
race
There we
scored
go.
Points, there we
All the
go.
Mercedes making contact, it's not too substantial, and Aarons goes through on his teammate up in second place. Well, it is not effective second place, but at the moment it is. Second place on the circuit.
Littlegrim
As it is,
coming back.
as it's Marcus Littlegrim is caught back up to these guys, having been punted off by Aarons, and he goes off the inside of the McLaren at turn 1 and gets
And that is
past.
now
Murray has
Second
that
two.
Magnus.
You're looking at Aarons now going up the inside of the HRT as well, who's got to just get out of the way of these
Littlegrim was
guys.
attacked by Simon.
This is
Agnes
going to go around
doesn't
the outside of
go
Simon.
away.
Turns to the inside of them. Did he get past Carrick? Yes, he did. He got past Carrick at turn 3. Who is a
Littlegrim now
very
stuck
opportunistic
behind
overtake.
Agnes.
He is stuck behind Agnes, but he's flying. And he's looking. He's got the car who punted him off right ahead of him now. He's looking for some revenge. Is
Yup.
this Red Bull. The championship leader, currently on course to extend his championship
He
lead
won the
with
previous race,
Smith,
didn't he?
with Smith being DSQ'd and I think race banned for the next race.
Sorry, what's
Yeah,
the rest
quite frankly. Didn't Littlegrim win the previous race?
No,
Yes,
it
he
was De
did.
Jong. Oh wait, last race you mean?
It was a Red Bull 1-2 last time out,
Yeah.
and this time instead of Smith ahead of Littlegrim, it was the other way around. Littlegrim ahead of Smith.
Oh, and that's Murray's. That's Aaron sending out to Murray. Someone is in the pits.
And Aaron has to try to go around the outside. Joseph
I
Murray
mean,
at turn
we saw
13.
someone pitting like...
Is he able to get that one done? Just about. He's got the inside line now. That's a
No, he went wide,
He's
he
got
went
No,
wide.
he runs wide.
He's
Oh, that's a
completely
dangerous
overshot it.
rejoin nearly into Littlegrim.
Littlegrim will be fuming at that because he's just been massively compromised in the... Yeah. Who's going to come out? Andrew
Oh, no.
Mondragon just coming out behind all of these guys, and I think
I mean, that was a...
Oh, that's a regular
this is a
pit stop.
timely pit stop. It's a timely pit stop.
That's a regular pit stop there. So interesting strategy from the boys.
In goes the Aston
And
Martin and Josh Flynn as well.
Aaron's a Littlegrim.
Littlegrim is all over the back of that Mercedes
Murray now
car.
lapping counter K and a bit of contact with the Aston Martin. These guys, all most of the overtakes seem to be contact fueled. It's not really good. But at
Well,
the
that's
same
Littlegrim
time-
going. Littlegrim, I thought,
Carragher
lost
at
the
the
place
back
to
of his
Carragher there for a
championship
second,
rival.
but no, he was able to hold on to it. And we're looking at Aaron's now at turn 4. Aaron's at turn 4 is something which does not go well.
Yeah.
As has been
There's
proven
some
on this
discussion in the
race.
Mercedes HQ as Carragher goes round
That's because
outside
Carragher around the
Littlegrim.
outside of turn 5. What an overtake! You don't
Wow.
often see overtakes there. Marco
What a
Carragher
move.
around the outside at turn 5. That is a absolutely brilliant move. And he's back on his teammate now.
Who's been
So
held by
Carragher has
Quadcare.
just taken the effective race lead. But actually,
Yeah, but Murray's
having
running
said that,
away with it, man.
Murray is running away with this. Because Carter Kane is holding everyone up an absolute treat as there goes Aaron's
Oh,
trying to
he
pass
pushed
him
it.
and
Oh,
he's
my
got off the
days.
circuit. They've both gone off the circuit, and Carrigal
pushed Counter
is going to
K
try and
off.
take advantage of that. Trying to go around the outside now of the Aston Martin as the inside line, and if he doesn't overcook it, he'll be through. And he is through.
And Littlegram also got off this whole pack.
So too is Littlegram. We actually see more fighting when we catch up to the back markers than we do normally.
And
This
it's a
could
bit
be the
dry.
golden chance for Murray.
And it's pissed off.
Very well could
Carrigal,
be.
Littlegram, Aarons, and Murray all pitting. Simon already has.
Simon's already pitched.
Simon
Simon's
tries no
So Simon
undercuts.
was pretty far behind these guys. He's gone for a very he's gone for an undercut basically.
He's going
And
to
I-
rejoin into clean air, I bet.
I don't know if that Ferrari coming up on him just has pitted or not. I don't think so.
No,
it's
that's
a
a
Lotus,
Ferrari,
it's
that's
definitely
a
on.
Renault. That's a Renault there.
Lotus Renault.
And
Stefan
I
de Jong has
think-
not pitted.
Only
Regardless,
just.
Simon has come out in front. He's going to be slow at turn 1. See in turn 2 how
But
this
I
all works
think
out. No, Simon
that's-
has gone in front as the Lotus Renault one's wide.
Jadon gets scared off the road a bit.
Okay, the FIA has given out another penalty. Wouldn't
Oh,
you know
no.
it? It's 5 penalty points for Agnes for ignoring blue flags.
Do you even have
Fantastic.
blue flags?
This race is just fantastic.
Oh no.
This
Right.
race is just what?
It's been a good race, not gonna
It's
lie.
been
No,
good
the
battling,
racing,
but a lot
the
of
racing
penalties.
and the battling is good. It's just that it's fueled with these minor or major incidents that just make it so confusing to keep.
Carrigal
race leader-
lost position
race
to
leader.
Littlegram.
The top 4 all come into the pits at the same
This-
time.
Could end badly. Blanc is in front of these.
Oh no.
no.
Bahrain flashbacks, here we go. So,
So
Murray
Murray's
is
in.
the first to stop in his box. Aaron
As
stops
the
then.
rain has stopped.
In before someone decides to pit on the different compound of
Well,
tires.
Murray might well be. Okay, Murray's
Murray's
away.
in front.
I was about to say Murray might well be at this
Carrigal.
point.
Oh no!
Oh
Carrigal's
no.
Blanc ahead
So
of
Littlegram is the
Carrigal.
biggest loser. Littlegram's out behind Carrigal. He's lost their place.
But
in
look
the
at
pit stops.
Simon.
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 All these guys. Simon might well take the
Going
race
for the
here.
lead.
No.
Oh! Oh no, it's all gone wrong for Kang Simon here at turn 1 on lap 28 of 31. He's rammed into the back of this teammate.
Look
who
at
is
De Jong as
exiting
well.
the pits.
Look at
Is
De
that-
Jong.
De Jong is up into 4th place.
No, the youngest pitting
Oh.
now, but
Oh.
It's a shame he's pitting. What on earth? But Kang Simon, surely he would have judged that better. He knows his teammate's coming out of pit road, just doesn't expect him to go so slow, and
I
boom!
swear, this happened last season as well somewhere like Australia.
Evelyn Toogood, yeah,
Oh,
in
no.
Australia. Oh, and that's the other front window, the Red Bull gone as well. It's
What
all
happened
kicking
there?
off. It's all kicking off here at the
this is the
Hungara
wrong
ring.
Mercedes Littlegram.
So Littlegram having been punted off by a
He
Mercedes.
tried
Oh,
what
no.
Aaron's did to him and
He
failed
drives into
terribly.
Carrigal. And he doesn't take out Carrigal, he takes himself out. Marcus
Oh
Littlegram
my
now.
dear.
This is Taman de Jong is going to be 4th.
Oh my dick.
My word! What on
Murray
what on
could
earth?
as well win this race now.
It's
Because
taken-
Oh, the youngest
until
having contact with Simon now.
It's taken us until lap 28 to do this. Joseph Murray might actually win this race.
Carrigal has to get his foot down to get to
he's
still be
got
able to
a
win.
slow McLaren in front of him. Look at
He
this.
has a Blanc in front of him and De Jong.
Oh no, Blanc.
Oh,
no, that's contact between De Jong and the McLaren. Through goes Blanc, through goes Carrigal, and Littlegram will be boxing as
Where's
well.
Carrigal going?
So Carrigal right now,
confused.
he's got the gap is more than 5 seconds.
Smith!
is actually he'll be up into 5th place.
But disqualified in none of the race.
He's disqualified, but he'll be actually up into 5th place.
He has to
By
fix.
the time
I swear he has to box
happens.
as well. Oh my! What is this race?
Even if you had like a 25-second penalty, it'd still be in the points.
Carrigal running out of like low and fuel. He's only just in the 5-second window still.
He's only just, he needs his teammate to get past and hold up Murray. Here we go to
Oh!
turn 4 again. Oh no! It's
And
happened
that's what we got from
again!
Aaron's.
And Aidan Aarons has made the same mistake as he did 10 laps ago on Marcus Littlegram, and this time it's had catastrophic consequences for him. Look at how much it's going to benefit teams like Toro Rosso and Ferrari.
Or Venturia.
Taman de Jong might actually get a podium.
Again.
Again.
Oh my god, he's not as good a podium this season, has he?
No, but again in
Last season he won this race.
Oh yes, I
from
forgot.
70
Oh no.
Oh no, he's not. He's lost his wing. He's not going to be on the podium because Smith is going to be on the virtual podium.
It's painful
Sorry, I
to
just
laugh
can't.
at this, but
I'm the only one here who's managed to not laugh. He's done exactly the same. We were just praising him, and then we cut to the camera, and he's
You
got the
retard.
front wing.
You
So it's
actual
going to be
retard.
Kubasek. It'll be Kubasek instead, who actually lost his wing already in this
Mondragon
race.
isn't so.
What is happening?
He's confused.
In this crazy Hungarian, it's all taken off now. In this
At the
crazy
moment,
Hungarian Grand Prix,
Okay, so if Caragol doesn't hurry up, Murray might actually keep the lead.
He's getting held by Blanc. Oh no.
he still has it. Jean-Luc Blanc is actually a goddamn dagger in Caragol's spine. Every single race, he just has to do something to compromise the Mercedes. So Smith is going to move up into third, but he's disqualified. De Jong will move up into third, but he's pitted.
Go on, get out of the bloody way!
So it's going to be Kubasek who finishes in third place.
Still looking at the...
Didn't Kubasek lose his front wing like 2 times?
He did lose his front wing.
The
I mean, I'm
Toro
sure-
Rossos will be 4-5.
I'm sure Red Bull are going to appeal the disqualification, fight for a time penalty instead. We'll wait and see how it...
Aaron's.
Oh no.
We'll see
Simon,
how it turns
Simon
out.
will do it again.
Simon, he's it's a much more dramatic contact, and he's driven into the wall.
Oh
That's
my
even
dear.
worse. And he's not even going to score points. He's actually
We were
going to
praising-
drop outside of the points.
We were
of this
praising
race.
Simon for being an actual decent driver today, and he's just died again.
Well, what has turned into... So Viva's going to be in the points. Lisserome is back up into the points. The Toro Rossos are 4th and 5th.
Caragol is closing back, but he
No, they will
still has
fall
Blanc
fifth.
in front.
As Kubasek has to get past Patricians, and I really God hope he doesn't lose his win. No, that would be too much.
Yeah.
The only reason this isn't getting stopped or anything is because it's, well, the next lap is the final lap. In fact, the racing of Joseph Murray has just started his final lap.
This is going to be interesting.
Caragol still hasn't passed Jean-Luc Blanc. Oh my God, it's going to go
is
right to
actually
the
pulling
wire.
away from Caragol.
It's going to go right to the wire as Kubasek just has a what? Oh no, the two Toro Rossos are going for it.
Kubasek has
Zayton
lost
on
his
his
lap.
foot.
Slap.
These guys, Toro Rosso are heading for their best ever points haul in MMS history. Let's just hope they don't throw it away. Here goes Sage
Oh,
going
you
for the
say
move on.
that. Oh, they actually keep it clean.
Shut
She
your mouth.
slides and gets through as the skies have cleared for the final lap. And I think Caragol's finally got past Jean-Luc Blanc. He has.
No, he has to stay within 5 seconds of Murray to win this race.
So let's see how this all peters out in the end. De Jong is outside of the points. And here's Joseph
The gap
Murray.
is
Yeah,
4
4
seconds right
seconds, and
now.
he gets it by a second.
4 seconds. So as it stands, Marco Caragol
stands.
is going to break the streak and become the first repeat winner of Season 4.
We still have a
Coming
sector
into
to
the
go,
final
though.
sector. Joseph Murray has 2 more corners to go after this one. He's coming into turn 13 now. He's driven a fantastic race, but he's
Joseph
got a
Murray
5-second
wins on
penalty.
track.
Murray comes round the final corner to win on track.
Look at the delta.
Well,
Look at the delta.
Look at the delta.
It's going to be close. Murray comes round
Not
the final
enough.
corner. He wins this on the track, but Marco Caragol behind is going to take the win here in Hungary. He wins at the Hungaroring. He wins round 6, and he
Smith is not
becomes
third.
the first repeat winner. Smith is
not
going to
third.
finish third, but he's not
No,
third.
he's
He's
not.
disqualified.
Kubasek is on the
Jakob
podium.
Kubasek takes third place for Ferrari, and what a result for Toro Rosso behind. Olivia Zayt in 4th, Hannah Eastwood in 5th after Smith's disqualification is
Aaron's not
applied.
7th because 10-second penalty. Where is he going to
50
drop?
No, it was a 15-second penalty, I
Wait,
think.
what? No,
it's ten.
Simon.
No.
Oh, for goodness sake,
No,
what
sorry,
has
this
he
is the
done
same
now?
front wing he lost, remember?
No.
Oh,
Is
why?
it? It's,
No.
it's the same one. It's the same one.
I don't
Is
believe
it?
you.
It is. Do you want to argue?
Well, it is because we're going back. He hasn't pitted
It
yet.
must be.
Oh,
It
yeah.
is.
He has not
Yeah.
pit. He has not pit.
Alright.
So Kang Simon comes into the
No,
pits of
he-
the final lap,
Valjak
which means
is-
Mihail Valjak.
Valjak is-
Venturia points!
Mihail Valjak is going to score points.
Get it!
It's going to be close. Who's it going to be?
Get it!
It's Valjak. It's Mihail Valjak who finishes in 10th.
He might be even 9th because Aaron's has a penalty.
And
10
he picks up
seconds.
Ventura. Oh my word! And he picks up Venturi's first ever points.
It might be 2 points. Depends how close he was to Aaron.
Well, the penalties are really going to change. The penalties are going to shake everything up here. But Marco Caragol has broken the streak of race winners and become the first repeat winner And it still means that only 2 teams have won this season, Mercedes and Red Bull.
Mercedes
Both
are
have
back.
Mercedes engines, so get your Mercedes engines for next seasons, boys.
You're not getting them.
I am getting them, thank you very much.
Oh my god. That,
Oh my.
there's your race
After,
winner.
okay, if you take away the last 5 laps, that was a very entertaining.
That was an amazing race.
And we
I
have
mean-
only one DNF.
Red Bull, I'm sure Louis H is going to appeal that disqualification and
He
ask
can
for a
appeal it
time
as mu-
penalty.
He can appeal it as much as he wants. I don't care.
I mean, a 30-second time penalty would drop him down to behind his teammate. What a crazy Hungarian Grand Prix that was.
Oh yeah, Aaron stays in front of well. Actually, he's going to be in the points plus the fastest lap.
Alright, so guys, driver of the day.
I'd say Kubicek. to be
Mihail
honest.
Van
Okay, to be fair, Valyak and Kubica are up there. Okay.
Well, like a Kubicek, yeah.
Where did Vayak started on the 7th row, 14th, I think.
He's in Venturin, for goodness sake.
Yeah.
Yeah, but to be fair, Kubica lost the wing 2 times and still managed to finish on the podium.
Yes, that's also true.
James,
Oh,
you're
yeah.
driver of the day. Sorry, but
getting disqualified.
From last to 3rd, though, but he's disqualified.
and he gets like 45 penalty points, I think, from this race.
45?
I think it was 25. So it's
25.
Well, I don't know. It's up to the discussion with the FIA, but
oh my dear. I mean, this race.
he actually gets 45 penalty points,
I mean, yeah, so he's banned for 2 races.
and he's actually under the investigation for a season ban.
Well, that's
Oh
without
my
the champion.
dear.
Well, that's him out the championship then.
I think Carrigal is gonna retake the championship lead.
No,
it's
Littlegram will
not.
hold the lead. Littlegram will probably hold the lead. He finished in the
Holy
points.
Just.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but Mercedes, and more specifically Marco Carrigal, just catapulted themselves back into championship contention. But for the first time this season, we have a Ferrari on the podium, 3 different manufacturers on the podium.
You have
Toro Rosso
Mercedes.
4th and 5th, their best ever in MMS history, including the old one.
Yeah, that was
What a
amazing.
race!
Right. So next week we are going to Albert Park for the Australian Grand Prix.
Oh no.
A circuit I really don't like that much.
Shut up.
I have bad memories from OG MMS.
Oh yeah, and the new MMS.
Oh no.
Oh no. Yeah. Anyways, so thank you guys for coming. This was a fairly entertaining race. Yeah.
Yep.
I don't think I can say much else other than be sure to tune into the Australian Grand Prix. See you next week. Be sure to wear your seatbelts, be safe on the road, stay home, and just have fun. See you next time.
Drink responsibly.
Yeah, and don't eat cereal while recording. So
No, shut up.
right, so thank you for watching this amazing MMS Hungarian Grand Prix. See you next time in Australia. Stay cool.
Goodbye.
Bye bye.